Welcome to part 3 of the training here. I've been getting a few people actually asking me, how do you track conversions, right? You want to actually track which keywords are profitable. I'm going to show you how to do that today. But I want to give you an update 24 hours from, I did set up some campaigns off video. You probably do realize to see that. But I want to show you what type of results I'm already getting with the Bing PPC. Bing PPC and just show you really quick. And look at this. Let's just go from January 27th. So that's me testing it. But pretty much everyone above that is all from the Bing PPC. So January 27th all the way up. And then look, just today, it's 11:52. My last opt-in was about 11:13. So 10:50, 10:10, 8:27, 7:54, 6:58. And my spend, was only about $2, I think, just a couple of dollars. So look at all these leads. For $5 a day, I'm actually paying about, this is really good. If you're paying $1 or less per lead, that is a good thing. So I'm actually paying right now less than $1 per lead. I think I'm paying around 50 cents per lead. So this is definitely a very good campaign. In fact, I'll highlight all the ones right there. So look, these are all from the Bing PPC. I'm going to go over to my Aweber account here. Look, all from Bing PPC. My free trial, 7 subscribers today, 11 yesterday. So remember, my daily budget is $5. So with 11 leads, my cost per lead comes out to about 49 cents or something like that. And 7 subscribers, well, the campaign's only halfway through, so I think I've only spent a couple of dollars. So, by the end of the day, I might walk out with 14 to 15 subscribers, paying less than $1 per lead. So that's pretty exciting stuff. Now, how do you track conversions? Well, I'm going to show you how to do that. When you create your campaign, it's really very, very simple. So I'm going to pick my Bing PPC trial here. Now, the first thing you want to do is you want to come over here and click columns. And over here, you actually want to add conversions to your display, because you actually have to tell Bing that, hey, I want to display conversions, right? So you actually click here and just click the little arrow, and you can include the conversion rate too, but you at least need the conversions. And I'm going to put the conversion rate here and press OK. So what that does is, look, I get these 2 fields that weren't showing up before. So before I had all of this, now I can see impressions, click-through rate, average CPC spend, average position, conversions, and conversion rate. But you're not done yet. You have to actually use a tracking code. So you actually come over here to Tools, and you go to Campaign Analytics. And after you go to Campaign Analytics, you get this little blue bar at the top. This is there's a new place to manage your goals and track conversions. You need to click on that. Click on that. And see, I already have a conversion set up. I'm going to create a goal. So when you first see it, you create goal. That's what you click. Your goal name will be conversion. So if you're tracking conversions, you can track conversions. You can actually track sales too using your own product. So depending on what your goal is, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. In my case, I'm tracking conversions. Now you can track sales. You can actually track how long the person's on the page. You can track how many pages they visited. You can track the event, such as where they click, basically, which is kind of like a heat map. So if you think of this whole page right here is your website, a heat map is where you can actually track where people are clicking on your page, which is actually very useful information for an internet marketer, right? So just imagine if you have this affiliate page and people are clicking over on these links on the right, and you see a lot of clicks over here, then you know that's what people are mostly interested in. That can help you tweak your page. So there's a lot of things you can do, but in the most cases, if you're tracking a sell or a conversion, then you're going to use the destination URL. So that is where the seller conversion takes place. So if your sales page is your thank you page, you would put your thank you page here. If your conversion is the page after they opt in, you'd put the page after they opt in. So I'm just going to put http www.aftertheyoptin.com, and that would be your page. Then the destination URL would be equal to, and you just put the exact URL. All right, you don't need to put a goal value. Now, you only turn this on if you're tracking sales, because if you turn this on, then you can say, okay, each cell is worth $17. So every time you make a cell, Bing will track that for you, but we can leave that off because we're only tracking conversions. And you want to just track the conversions for the last 7 days. So, you just want to see the most current 7 days. You can change that to 30 days if you want to, but I usually leave it at the default for 7. You click on the little question mark, it'll tell you. So the conversion period is the number of days you want to keep track of a particular user after they first visit your website. Usually after 7 days, that data is no longer relevant. You're going to be able to pick that up. And then you need to create a tag. So I already have a tag, but you need to create a tag and you're going to name it. You're going to give it a description. So for example, if you're running a campaign for your ClickBank product, you could put in, ClickBank product. Or be more specific, because if you're running multiple ClickBank campaigns, then you'd want to put in the actual name of the actual product, right, to track it. So, and then you're just going to click save. And then after you click save, I'm not going to save this one because this is just an example. After you click save, then you should, when you reload this page, when you come back here to goals and conversions, you should see this. It's live. And you need to click the little checkbox and you want to click view tag. And you can either use the JavaScript version or the no script version. I usually just take the JavaScript version. It's better if you can use the JavaScript. Copy it and then paste that into the header. It tells you what to do up here as well in the header of your website before the head tag ends. So if you're using lead pages, you just go to the very top and paste it. In fact, I'll show you really quick. And same thing with WordPress, pretty easy. So let me just log into lead pages and show you guys. I like to be as demonstrative as possible. Let me just, let's just click one. I guess I'm being a little picky. Oops, I need to actually click on edit. That might help. So what you do in lead pages, and you may already know how to do this, which is fine, but I just want to show those for those that don't. And it's going to be different depending on which editor you're using. But click at the top, and then you click on tracking codes, and you'd put it in the head tracking code, and you'd paste it, and you click done, and that's it. So I'm not actually going to do that because I already have it where it needs to go. And that's it. And then after you do that, you're able to track your conversions. So let me show you. I'm going to go back to home. I actually need to go to campaigns. I'm sorry. I'm all over the place today. Go back to campaigns. And for example, I know I put a tracking code here. I'm going to look at yesterday because I haven't got any activity today because I'm actually filtering the time that this goes out. In fact, what I'm doing right now is actually change the time. I want to run my ads just at nighttime to see what type of results I get. So I'm doing a lot of testing on my ads. So what you do is if you just go over to keywords, it should show you. Now, the bad part about yesterday, right, if I go to yesterday, is I added the conversion code about 4 or 5 o'clock Mountain Standard Time. So it's going to show really, really low conversion rate that's not accurate because I added the code later in the day, not the beginning of the day. But as you can see, it did start tracking the conversions. So it tracked 6 conversions. I got 1 here according to what it tracked. Make money online, make money online. So this one actually got a really high conversion rate, 37%, when people just type make money. So that tells me that as I'm figuring out which conversions, eventually I'll be eliminating these keywords, or I may not eliminate. I might say, hey, you know what? I'm no longer going to pay. How much am I paying per click? I'm paying 25 cents per click. You know what? This isn't worth that much to me. I'm going to drop this down to 10 cents because, I don't mind paying 10 cents a click. So you may end up doing that. You may say, hey, this only got me 1 conversion. This got me 3. Well, that's really awesome. And I got 8 clicks. Guess what? It looks like my click-through rate is high already. Where's my average position? 4.91. That's not too bad. I could get that higher because this is a 1.17. So you may even say, I want to increase this bid because this is producing me leads. And that's exactly what you do. So you have to really see over a period of a week which keywords are actually producing you conversions. So if your goal is to get as many leads as possible for the lowest cost, that's what you want to track. Or if your goal is to track which keyword is bringing you the most sales, you're going to want to track that. And it's just the same process. So that's all you have to do. and Bing Ads to basically create a conversion report. So I hope that helps. It's going to really help track your overall results. And if you have any questions about Bing Ads, or if you need any help, feel free to reach me on Facebook, and I'll be more than happy to assist you in any way I can. All right, till the next video, I'll see you next time.